The winds of change are blowing across West Africa. Togo has made a powerful statement. On May 28, 2025, the nation announced a temporary halt. It suspended the issuance of new mining permits. This is not merely an administrative adjustment. It is a declaration. A small nation is standing tall. It is choosing to pause, to reflect, to reclaim. The world watches, some with hope, others perhaps with unease. This decision speaks volumes about a continent stirring, about a people finding their voice in the global arena. This suspension is comprehensive. It covers permits for both prospecting and exploration. It applies to all mineral substances across the entire nation. Only building materials and certain industrial minerals are exempt for now. Why this sudden, decisive action? The official reason is clear. Togo intends to overhaul its mining code. The current code dates back to 1996, with amendments from 2003. The old rules no longer serve the people of Togo. They no longer reflect the aspirations of a modern African state in the 21st century. The ambition is to create a new legal framework, one that is rigorous, sustainable, transparent, and truly inclusive. This new code must address the complex challenges of today. It must consider the environmental impact of mining. It must ensure social equity for communities. It must secure fair economic benefits for the entire nation. Togo understands that strength often lies in unity. Its decision to reassess its mining sector is an internal one. Yet its gaze is also turning outwards towards its neighbors. There is a clear intention for Togo to join the Alliance of Sahelian States, or AES. This alliance currently includes Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. These are nations that have faced similar struggles. They share similar aspirations for a future where African resources primarily benefit African people. This potential membership signals a strategic pivot, a desire to be part of a collective that speaks with a louder, more unified voice on the international stage. The AES is rapidly becoming a symbol of a new kind of regional solidarity. It is built on the foundations of shared security concerns, economic sovereignty, and political self-determination. For Togo, joining the AES would mean aligning itself with countries that are actively challenging the old order. It means finding partners who understand the urgent need to rewrite the terms of engagement with global powers and multinational corporations. Togo's decisive action regarding its mining sector does not stand in isolation. It finds a powerful and resonant echo in the recent policies of Burkina Faso. This is not a mere coincidence. It is part of an emerging pattern across the Sahel region. Nations are awakening to the imperative of resource nationalism. They are recognizing that true independence means controlling the wealth that lies within their own borders. Burkina Faso has been a prominent example of this shift, taking bold steps that Togo now seems poised to emulate. Burkina Faso's government has actively pursued policies aimed at increasing state control over its mining operations. They have initiated processes to renegotiate terms with foreign mining companies. The demand is simple, yet profound, fairer deals that reflect the true value of their resources. To truly understand the actions of Togo and its neighbors, we must look to the past. We must acknowledge the heavy weight of history. the African mining sector bears deep, painful scars. These are the scars of centuries of foreign exploitation. It is a long and sorrowful story, one that begins in the colonial era but did not end with the raising of new flags. The echoes of this past resonate powerfully in the present-day push for resource sovereignty. The memories of injustice fuel the determination to forge a different future. A future where Africa's wealth serves Africa's people. During the colonial period, vast mineral wealth was systematically extracted from African lands. Gold, diamonds, copper, and countless other resources were shipped away to enrich imperial powers. The benefits for the local populations were minimal, if any. Instead, they often faced forced labor, displacement, and the destruction of their traditional ways of life. The primary purpose of mining was not development for Africa, but profit for the colonizers. This foundational injustice laid the groundwork for many of the challenges that newly independent African nations would later face. The current wave of resource nationalism sweeping across parts of Africa, as exemplified by Togo's recent decisions, is about so much more than just minerals. It transcends the immediate economic value of gold, phosphates, or bauxite. At its very heart, this movement is an unyielding cry for true sovereignty. It is about the fundamental right of a nation to choose its own path, to control its own destiny, and to make decisions that prioritize the well-being of its own citizens. This is not merely about renegotiating contracts. It is about redefining relationships and asserting national dignity on the world stage. Self-determination is the core principle driving these changes. African nations are increasingly asserting their agency. They are tired of being passive recipients of externally dictated policies or mere suppliers of raw materials to the global industrial machine. They are demanding to be active participants, indeed primary architects, of their own economic and political futures. This involves making sovereign choices about how their natural resources are managed, who benefits from them, and how their exploitation aligns with national development goals and environmental responsibilities. It is a powerful assertion of their right to govern themselves fully and without undue external interference. What these nations are demanding is respect. The Alliance of Sahelian States, AES, is rapidly emerging as a significant new force on the African continent. It is envisioned by its members, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, with Togo now expressing intent to join, as more than just a security pact. It aims to be a protective shield for its member states, offering solidarity against external pressures. It strives to be a unified platform, amplifying their collective voice on critical issues, particularly the management and control of their abundant natural resources. This alliance represents a bold experiment in regional cooperation, born out of shared challenges and a common desire for a more autonomous future. The objectives of the AES are becoming increasingly clear and assertive. Resource nationalism is a cornerstone, with a shared commitment to ensuring that the wealth derived from mining and other natural assets directly benefits their populations. Regional cooperation extends beyond security to encompass economic and political strategies. There is a strong emphasis on mutual protection of interests, particularly in dealings with powerful international actors. A key goal is to reduce dependency on Western nations and multinational corporations. The resolute actions taken by Togo and the broader trend of resource nationalism championed by the Alliance of Sahelian States are sending significant tremors across the globe. These are not localized events with limited impact. They are creating geopolitical ripples that are being felt far beyond the African continent. Former colonial powers, particularly nations like France, which have maintained deep economic and political ties in the region, are undoubtedly watching these developments with close attention. The European Union, as a major trading partner and investor, also faces a new calculus in its engagement with these increasingly assertive African states. Western multinational corporations, long accustomed to operating under favorable, sometimes exploitative, conditions in Africa's resource-rich territories, are confronting a new and challenging reality. Their historically dominant positions are being questioned. Unfettered access to vital minerals and other resources is no longer a given. They face the prospect of increased regulatory hurdles, demands for greater transparency, and renegotiated contracts that allocate more revenue to host nations. This shift necessitates a fundamental re-evaluation of their business models and their approach to partnerships in Africa. This is Insight Africa, where the continent speaks for itself.